Hello everyone, new video for you today. I know it's going to be like the second one uploaded, but it's one of my last actually recorded. So it's going to be a little bit different from most of the other ones today. We're not going to actually be talking about the tricks too much, more about the actual history of the blades. So that's what we're going to get into today. Now what you're going to be seeing in the background is just me doing a bit of flipping and sort of practicing new tricks that I'm trying to learn and such. So don't really watch it for that. Watch for the information per se. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Now there's a bit of controversy in the whole Balisong community of whether the butterfly knife came from Europe or from the Philippines, but for the most part, people believe it came from the Philippines, as the word Balisong comes from the tag-along word, really literally meaning like broken or folding horn. Uh, so it's for the most part, it's believed to have come from the Philippines. However, it's still a little it's a hotly debated topic. So like at some people believe certain versions of events where it came into play around 800 AD. Whereas other people believe the design sort of made it into Europe at around the 1600s. So between all the research I've done, it's a little bit. So I hear arguments on both sides of historical events where it was used. But for the most part, as I said before, that it's generally agreed that it comes from the Philippines, just partially, or that's at least where the design comes from. So, as you probably know, I switch between Balisong and butterfly knife, and as I mentioned before, they just mean the same thing. Balisong is butterfly knife in Filipino, and like I said, that comes from the tag-along word. But so that's like that's the on the most basic level, where it comes from. But nowadays, it's it's not legal in many places, especially even where I live, which is in Canada. It is illegal, and so I'll go through a little bit of a list I have made up here. So in the Philippines, it's generally illegal to carry one without like a proper permit or identification. So you sort of need to demonstrate of its utility. Sorry guys, I'm having a bit of trouble speaking right now. Utilitarian purpose, so like if it's for cutting grass, fruits, such things like that. In Australia, it's a prohibited weapon. Canada, it's the ruling on it in Canada is a little bit weird. It's said to be a gravity knife, which are illegal. However, it doesn't specifically say that it's butterfly knives, but it's generally implied that in Canada they're legal. And there's a few states in Switzerland, or sorry, not Switzerland, my goodness, in the U.S. That allow it. So if you're wondering, if you live in the U.S. and you're wondering, like, hey, is it legal where I am? Just go to your local, like your government website, or ask somebody around you. Go on the internet, look it up, because it very much varies from state to state. But for the general portion, it is legal. Not, like I said, not in every state, but like you'll see. And then largely throughout Europe, the knife is illegal. So Sweden, they're illegal. Germany, illegal. Finland, they are illegal to be like bought and sold, but you can't, like, they fall under the same rules as a regular knife, so they can't like you can't be holding one in public unless you can prove it's a tool. And now, originally, butterfly knives were treated as a utility knife. That it was because of their such ease of opening that you could open it with one hand. Um, that it was really useful. So if you were carrying something on your back or just holding something, it was very nice because you could pop it open with one hand. And then also later in its sort of lifespan, it was used as a razor in many barbershops, but that's also sort of fallen out of use. So it went from like a utility knife to a barbershop, like a barber's tool, and now it's essentially become a glorified toy, as I've said. So which is kind of disappointing because it's a lot of fun to play with, and I understand that the real knives can be rather dangerous, especially when you're flipping them around. But still, it'd be kind of nice to be able to embrace that sort of the old-fashioned like real knife type style for it. So that's a brief little look into butterfly knives and their history. Like I said, the information on it is pretty scarce, so I apologize for this like long-winded for not the best information.